Hello and welcome to the Daily Mill for Wednesday, the 8th of October 2025. In today's Mill news, you wouldn't think so, but it kind of is a well sought after ticket. That's Oxford away. And we've got the selling details, and they go on sale tomorrow. And much like the more obviously sought after tickets, such as Charlton away, Palace away, we have a slew of conditions and days of sale. And you wouldn't think it, but this is, I think, only our 5th ever trip to the Kassam Stadium. If Oxford get relegated, it might be our last trip to the Kassam Stadium. So, obviously, if you're looking to tick that off as one of the grounds that you've been to as a Millwall fan, going to a Millwall game, like, you could just go there anyway. You like the 92, the ground hoppers, all those people, they go to the grounds, fair play to them. But if you want to be a purist and you just go to Millwall games at stadiums and you want to knock it off your list, this might be the last chance, really, if you think about it. Not just because they're going to get relegated, maybe, possibly, but they are looking to build a new stadium. They are going to move soon. The guy who owns the stadium, Kassam, they don't own it, Oxford. They were supposed to be moving out soon. He's given them an extension, and that was based on if they got planning permission for a new ground. And they did get planning permission. But that's going to be a long way off. But again, if they're not in the same division as us next season, by the time we play them again, hopefully, because obviously we don't want to be getting relegated soon either. But we might be playing them at a different ground. So, yes, Mill travel to Oxford United in the Sky Bet Championship on Saturday the 1st of November. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. and tickets will go on sale to season ticket holders with 650 or more loyalty points. So much loyalty there. From 9:30 a.m. on Thursday the 9th of October, which is tomorrow, or by the time you're watching this, today. All tickets for this fixture will be issued as digital print at home and will be sent out from 27th of October. Boo! Please ensure you have the correct email address on your ticketing account. So that explains what they put up a thing the other day. I didn't include it on the channel. They said, make sure your details are up to date. Now we know why. Because Oxford are too cheap and too lazy to print out tickets on card. Right, so 650 or more season ticket holders from tomorrow. And then on Friday, it's season ticket holders with 630 or more. They've got the whole weekend. On Monday the 13th, it's season ticket holders who have 610 or more. On Tuesday the 14th, it's season ticket holders who have 590 or more. And then on Wednesday the 15th of October, it's all other season ticket holders, because it's season ticket holders who have 580 or less loyalty points. By the time we get to next Thursday, so all season ticket holders have got a week to buy these tickets. Next Thursday, members who have 130 or more loyalty points. Next Friday week, members who have 110 or more loyalty points. And then all the way into the future, what are we on now? What's this? This is Monday week. Literally, 12 days into the future. All other members on Monday the 20th of October. I'm going to guess that this will be gone on Wednesday. I think all season ticket holders will get them. None will go to members, because they have given us, where's the allocation? There we are. We have an allocation of 1,476 tickets. So there you go. Like I said, this might be the last time. I think last season there were a lot of demand, because obviously people wanted to go to the ground and tick it off. So those people who missed out will probably try again for this one. And tickets are priced at £30, and they don't even print it out. They don't even print it out for you. You have to use it on your phone, digital, or print it at home. So bear that in mind. Will that put people off? I don't know. Did they have that last year? I don't think they did. Did they? I don't think they did. But yeah, £30 for adults, £20 for over 65s, £20 for blue light card holders. But you can only do that in person. £20 for under 25s and £16 for under 18s. £12 for under 13s and £8 for under 7s. And here's the thing. So you queue up down at this ticket office. You go up there. You pay your money, and you get nothing. They will not give you a ticket. What will they give you? A receipt for a ticket? Like, what are you buying? Like, they're gonna send them out in the future. This whole digital ticket thing makes no fucking sense to me. It's stupid and annoying. And the sooner they stop doing it, the better. Now, moving on to this from the southwarknews.co.uk, who obviously publish tomorrow in paper format. If you see it out and about, pick up a copy, why not? So they've got an interview with Caleb Taylor. So let's have a read of this. My eyes lit up. Caleb Taylor and why Mill switch excited him. Conversations with Jed ahead of the move. Besting an ex-Lion, Arsenal debut, and his readiness for the step up. Caleb Taylor revealed his eyes lit up when he heard Millwall were interested in signing him and explained why he decided to leave his boyhood club. The 22-year-old centre-back was a long-term target for the Lions, and he's completed his move from West Bromwich Albion in the final week of the summer transfer window. Taylor signed a long-term deal with the club and made his debut against Wrexham on August the 30th, coming off the bench in the 82nd minute. He's since made another league substitute appearance against Watford and started against Crystal Palace in the Carabao Cup third round. Taylor joined West Brom's academy aged 10 and made his debut aged 18, but he was unable to break into the first team, spending the past 3 seasons on loan at League One. He finished his Baggers career having made 12 appearances. Taylor explained to News at Den why he decided to move on from West Brom. I'm really happy with my time at West Brom. I loved it there, it's my home club. But it gets to a point, where if you're not playing, you've got to play somewhere. And I was 22, turning 23 this year, and my chance there had gone, really. I needed to prove myself somewhere else. When I heard Millwall were interested, it was the start of the window, and my eyes lit up, and my family's eyes lit up, and my dad knows what a big club it is, and how good the fans are. When I heard about it, I was just really excited, and I really wanted to get it done. Taylor pointed to the Lions' long-term prospects as another important factor in his decision. While the standard Mill team is, defensively good, they try to keep a lot of clean sheets, and the last 4 or 5 seasons, they finished in the top half or around it, and they nearly got the playoffs last year, and they're a club that's definitely going forward. When I spoke to the manager before I came, he was telling me how much they're developing the training ground, the stadium, and how much they're pushing to improve. And they might finish high every year, so I can definitely see what project they're trying to achieve here. And it's exciting, and I'm really happy to hopefully be a part of it going forward. As Taylor became aware of Mill's interest in him, he sought advice from ex-Lion Jed Wallace, who spoke glowingly of the club. Oh yeah, I spoke to Jed quite a lot because, he was really helpful with me coming through the last few years. He was telling me how much of a great club it is, and he was telling me about Jake Cooper because, they're good friends. And then I knew Tristan because I'd played against him a few times, and I think he scored against me last season. I know what type of player he is, and I played with Kamal. He came on trial at West Brom when he was like 16 or something. When I walked in, I was like, oh my god, I recognise you. And I can remember when you were at West Brom for a tiny bit. I knew what kind of players were here. And I knew how experienced and, how much promise everyone here has. While Taylor has plenty of experience at the League One level, making 88 appearances across 3 seasons, he had only made 4 substitute appearances in the Championship ahead of this move. Does he really feel ready for the step up? I know what would be like because I've trained with top fast championship players, and I know it's a different from a game, but I know it's a different form of a game. But I know what to expect. Even in League One, it's very good physically, and I'm just looking forward to trying to adapt to it and test myself really. Taylor has already tested himself against top quality opponents in a Mill shirt, starting away at Southwark Park as part of a back three alongside Crammer and Grant. Oh, the first 10 minutes were very intense. Getting used to it took me a few minutes, really. But as soon as we settled down as a team, I think we kept possession well individually. And I think I won my duels, which is the main thing defensively. I did my job, which is the most important thing for me as a centre half. Then in possession, I grew into the game and I tried going forward a bit more and I tried playing through the lines more. And I think it was a positive performance from the team as well. Taylor was often tasked with marking former Lion Romain Esse, who was replaced at half-time after frequently emerging second best in duels with the centre-back. The game plan was to be aggressive and being a wide centre half. It was important I stepped out when the ball was there because I was maybe the spare man. And if you sit in, they'll just keep the ball and keep it attacking us. And I was really trying to be on the front foot. And anytime the ball went to him, I was just trying to get as tight as possible. It was a good challenge, he's a good player, playing for a Premier League team, and he's got a lot of skills, so I had to be on it that day. It's not the first time Taylor has come up against the top flight side. The centre-back was thrown into the deep end as an 18-year-old, making his first team debut for West Brom against Arsenal in the EFL Cup second round in August 2021. Taylor started in the heart of defence as part of a very young side, while Arsenal had a full-strength front four of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, Bukayo Saka, Martin Odegaard, and Nicolas Pepe. The Gunners won that tie 6-0. Woof. It was a great experience, looking back, I don't think I realised how young I was. I thought at the time, I was ready for first team football and I should be playing all the time, and I was definitely young and inexperienced. But it's such an important game for me to play, and the team we played against was one of the best teams in the country in Arsenal, and the result wasn't great, but we had a young team anyway, and it was a good experience for me, really. When asked how he found the physical levels, Taylor said, that was the biggest thing, physically. I don't think I was ready for that level of speed. I got a cramp after 7 minutes or something. And it was definitely a learning curve for me. Taylor was handed the armband for 8 minutes after Robert Snodgrass, remember him, was substituted off, a notable achievement for a teenager. However, he was used to the role. I was a captain throughout all of the age groups, from 11 and upwards. And then when I was looking the under-18s and in the scholar group, I was also the captain for the FA Youth Cup. So I think they wanted to see how I'd do in the first team game. Taylor never quite got a consistent run of games for the Baggies, despite a promising debut going out on loan 3 seasons in a row to League One. He joined Cheltenham Town for the 22-23 season, Bolton Wanderers for the latter half of the following campaign, and Wycombe Wanderers last year. Taylor was initially recalled from his loan spell with Wycombe in January after impressing, making one appearance for West Brom in a 5-1 FA Cup loss to Bournemouth, before returning to the Chairboys later that month. Taylor thinks his extensive experience in League One has him in good standing as he makes the leap up a division. All loans are important for different reasons, really. At Cheltenham, it was my first loan, and it was my first experience of getting men's football in League One. I really enjoyed my time there, and I played nearly 50 games in a year. So as an 18, 19-year-old, it really helped me. And then, Bolton was another League One loan, but at that time at the top end of the League One, where he expected to get promoted and do well, and there was a good away support and home support. So, they're always expecting to win, and that was another learning curve because I got injured and I didn't always play as well. So, I had to adapt to that. And then Wycombe last year was my favourite year in football because I was playing every week and we were flying at the top of League One, and we should have been promoted, really, and if we'd have finished a bit stronger. But that was just so fun, I enjoyed every game, and going to train every day was a good experience. But after 3 years, it was definitely time for me to take the next challenge and to try and play in the Championship. And, that's why I've done it. That's why I've come to Millwall. So there you go. Caleb Taylor speaks to the Southwark News. Now, the update is here. The West Kingsdown. We have got another 2 steps forward. So I've been bringing you the details of this. So here we go again. If you don't know, if you haven't seen it, if you don't care, but here you are anyway. Millwall were granted planning permission for the West Kingsdown training ground, subject to conditions which number around 29 conditions. A few of them, about 13, have to be completed before they can start work. Some of them are regarding ongoing while the work is being completed, and then some of them about what they have to sign off the conditions before they're allowed to occupy the site in terms of moving in and working it as a training ground. So they've suddenly kicked into gear from about August onwards. They've been putting in plans to Sevenoaks District Council on pa.sevenoaks.gov.uk, the planning portal for Sevenoaks District Council, meeting the conditions, putting in plans, schemes, drawings, trying to meet the conditions that have been imposed on them, so that they can start building. So we've got condition 4. We're still waiting on that one. Condition 11, we're still waiting on that one. Condition 7 has been granted, and I think, is this condition 7? This is condition 12. This condition 7, you can see 7th of October granted. It's been granted. I'm not going to show you that. But going back to the thing, so condition 12, that's been granted, and again, here we go, granted, 7th of October, so yesterday, granted. So 2 more conditions have been met, approved, rubber stamped, granted, we move forward, 2 steps forward. Hopefully not 4 steps back. Condition 9, still outstanding. Condition 5 has been granted. Condition, I think that was a while ago. Condition 10 has been granted. Condition 13 has been granted. Condition 8 has been granted. This is a different building, nothing to do with Millwall. Right, so, going to the original planning application. Here it is. The construction of a training and academy facility, a groundskeeper building and a security building, an indoor pitch and outdoor football pitches, including an artificial football pitch and associated training areas, car and cycle parking, and hard and soft landscaping, new access to Falcon Road. And that was granted 28th of February 2023. Remember that date, because we're going to need that in a minute. The 28th of February 2023. So here we go. These are all of the conditions, because I've been bringing you, okay, Millwall, this condition, this condition, this condition, all these conditions. Loads of conditions. Here's a full list of the conditions, and we're going to go through them, because we have time, because it's the international break. And I don't think I'll be doing a video Friday, maybe not even on Saturday or Sunday, but today we have time. So, subject to the conditions set out below. Condition 1. The development hereby permitted shall be begun before the expiration of 3 years from the date of this permission. Again, what was the date of permission? 28th of February 2023. So they need to start before the 28th of February 2026. Now, what does start mean? Does it mean actually put a shovel in the ground and dig up some dirt? Or what they're doing now in terms of putting the conditions in to be met? Does that include, is that starting it? Like, you're moving it forward by doing these conditions. Have you started it already? I guess so. Condition 2 is basically all of the drawings and stuff that you've submitted. You have to follow them. Basically, you have to do what you said you were going to do. Of course. Condition 3 just says, in terms of it clarifies, it says reason for the avoidance of doubt and for the purpose of clarification. Because there's a phrase called site preparation works, and that's in conditions 9, 10, 11 and 13. And this is what these mean. Condition 4. Prior to commencement, as in before you can build, you need a LEMP. LEMP. So condition 4. Did we get condition 4? That's still outstanding. That's the one at the top. So literally still waiting for that one to come through. and that is a land ecological management plan. What are you going to do with the animals? Are you going to give them places to live, etc., etc.? Condition 5, construction environmental management plan. All of this stuff, you can see ecological stuff, all kinds of things. To ensure adequate protection and mitigation of biodiversity, of course. So condition 5. Have we done that one? That's been granted. So yeah. Condition 6. It's about the dormice. Hazel dormice. The proof strategy will be implemented thereafter. I don't think that one's been done. I think that's a separate thing. I think they're still waiting. I think it was bundled up with the ecological thing. I think they said there weren't any there, but the council said the last time you checked was in 2023. You need to check again because it's literally been 3 years. So they might have moved in. So I think that's the thing that they said. So condition 7. Prior to commencement of works, a construction management plan. So these days it's not about what you want to build, it's how you're going to build it. Timing deliveries, washing the wheels to stop dust, traffic management, signage, closing pavements down to stop people from walking across and getting squashed by lorries and stuff like that. Controlling the cranes to stop them from swinging around and going over the motorway, because if that should fall over, that would be a national disaster. So condition 7. Have we met that one? That has been granted. So condition 7 has been granted. Condition 8 is the archaeological one. You need to do archaeological checks. You need to dig like little trenches, like you may have seen the program on the television back in the day. Time Team. They're gonna have to do that. Dig the little trenches and check for anything down there. Hopefully they don't find anything serious, because that could put a proper kibosh on the plans. If they find the Sutton Hoo Boogaloo Part 2, treasures and gold and all kinds of insane stuff, that's going to hold it up for a long time. It might even, put a freeze on it. So we certainly don't want him to do that. So condition 8, I think that has been approved. Has it? Yep, that's it there. It's been granted. That's part I. Obviously part 2 is about after you've done that, what do you do with stuff that's there? Section 9, condition 9, prior to the commencement, etc., etc., a surface water drainage scheme. So any water, obviously a football pitch, you probably use sprinklers and that on them. The water that drains down through the grass and the pitches, where does that go? What's it going to do? Where are you sending the water? We don't want to be flooding anything. Obviously you don't want to be, if you're using weed killers and kind of things, you don't want that stuff to go straight directly into the river system. And that's not what they're doing. They're going to drain it into the ground rock. So you would hope that as it goes through the rocks under the ground, it will get filtered by them, much like the Evian water in the mountains, and be purified as it comes out, wherever it comes out. God knows where. So that's condition 9, which I think has been granted. No, that's the one we're still waiting on that. Oh yeah. So the council wanted more information, and they said the things in the report weren't correct. So they said, can you clarify that? So they had to get back to them with that. Condition 10. The materials. What materials are you going to use? What wood are you going to use? What concrete? Is it concrete? Is it stone? What materials are you going to use? And that's, you want materials that fit into the local area. You don't want, I don't know, Indonesian teak or something. You want local wood. You don't want foreign wood because you might have a disease or something. I don't know. So that's condition 10, which has been granted. Condition 10 has been granted. So you can see, tick, tick, tick. We're going through them. They're getting done. Prior to commencement, except for etc. Full details of the soft landscape proposal. So the grasses, the trees, the bushes. There's a fuck ton of stuff that Mill will have to plant and put in. Probably thousands of pounds worth of, plants and stuff. And they've listed them all individually, and they've literally put a plan. Oh, we're going to put this here, we're going to put this here. It's very detailed and it's very, extensive. And I showed you that on the video the other day when it came out. Condition 11. Still waiting on that one. And the reason for that is I think the woman involved is, I don't think she understood. Because they said they were going to mow the wild meadows after 3 years. And then she said, well, you should do it after 1 year. And then I brought up the Royal Cultural Society website that says, no, you should do it after 3 years because it's a wild meadow. You want them to literally be fucking wild and go crazy. And just go everywhere. And then cut it back. But she said 1 year, so I don't know how they're going to tell her she's wrong, but then still get it approved. You need her permission, but she clearly doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. Tricky situation. How do you handle that? Condition 12. Prior to commencement, securing the site during construction. Obviously safety, health and safety, but not just of the people working on the site. All of the little herberts in the local area will probably want to climb over and get in and play around with the JCBs. We need to stop them doing that. We can't have them doing that anymore. It's not what you do. So yeah, how are you going to secure the site from burglars and trespassers? Was that condition 12? That has been granted. So again, tick, tick, tick. Condition 13. Prior to commencement, etc., etc. What is the elevation of each thing gonna be? Because they're moving a lot of dirt around, landscaping. They are digging ditches. That's gonna be part of the drainage. So are you gonna build mounds as well? What the level's gonna be? Is it gonna be above the street level? Because then that's gonna be weird for the people over the other side of the road. So they need to know. How high is everything going to be? And then they can say yes or no. So yeah. Condition 13. I believe that has been approved. Is it not? Yeah, that has been granted. Condition 13 has been granted. Condition 14. So now, up to 13, all of these are about doing stuff before you can start doing work. Condition 14, during development, if you find contamination that you didn't expect, you need to do this, you need to do that, and then you like say, I don't know, what could it be, like asbestos? If you find asbestos in the ground, barrels of weird liquid buried under the ground, you need to bring people in to deal with it. That's condition 14. Condition 15. While you're building, you're not allowed to send the water into the ground without permission. So again, how's that going to work? I don't know. Condition 16, remediation scheme. So this one can't really be done until they appoint the builders. They haven't appointed the builders yet, so they don't really know. Obviously, there are conditions that these builders need to work through. But I think condition 16 is really, about the builders and what they're going to do. And how they're going to do it. Condition 17. Now, this is hilarious. So, no external lighting without permission. So you need to look, if you're going to put lights up, what are they going to do? And it's all about the bats, because the local area, there are houses, a row of terraces, about 8 or 9 houses that look really weird. They're like grey. They look like they look plasticky. They look like they're made out of plastic. Really, they don't look good. But obviously, the street opposite doesn't have lampposts. I don't think lighting. It doesn't have lighting. But obviously, there will be light coming from the houses in the evening, security lights and stuff like that. But not only that, when you're on the ground, the West Kingsdown training ground, you could pick up a stone and throw it and hit the M20, which will be lit up like a fucking Christmas tree. And I don't know if you know this, but light travels quite far and quite fast. There's a speed of light. So you will be bathed in the light of the M20, which is, they're very bright. The motorways are insanely bright. But they got a problem with you having a light next to the thing that's lit up like a Christmas tree. Again, it's about saving the bats. We got to save the bats, don't we, people? Now, so that's about... So condition 14 to 17, that's about what you're going to do while it's going on, while you're building it. Now we get into the other stuff. Condition 18. The development shall not be brought into use until detailed travel plan. So it says you can't start using it until you tell them the travel plan. And this is about, basically they're trying to reduce people driving there by cars. But then you get to condition 19, it says the parking spaces that you've said you're going to build, you actually build. And why is that? It's to ensure that there's enough off-road parking. Hang on. What are we doing here? You just said you're trying to stop people driving there. And then you said, well, make sure you got enough car parking spaces for all the people that are going to be driving there. Okay. Schizo, anyone? Schizo. Condition 20, electric vehicle charging, all of that stuff. Condition 21, it's about connecting up the access road, building a road between the main road and the building on that the public can use. And it also says about footways and footpaths, because obviously there's a lot of traffic there. There's a lot of people, walking around there now. They're going to be on the grass verges. If there's a lot of people walking on that, they're going to wear away the grass verges and it's going to turn to mud. But they don't want that. So they're like, you're going to put in a footpath. But here's the thing. This is the thing, obviously, that might be a bit annoying, because even though Millwall have to build it and they have to pay for it, it's Sevenoaks' public infrastructure. So they're going to be very dictating about what it is you have to do there. They're not going to let you just do what you want. You have to put in, build a pavement and all kinds of things, whatever that they want you to do, you're going to have to do it. So there is that. Condition 22, prior to occupation of the building. Here's the thing. So all of the stuff that you found when you did the archaeological study, you need to publish a little booklet or whatever, and maybe hold a show. You need to do a little demonstration for, I don't know, the Sevenoaks Archaeological Society or whatever. I don't know if that's real or whatever. But the local museum. So, you have to tell them, look what we found. We found a bottle cap from 1842. It's from, a bottle of cider. that kind of thing, you know, all of the shit that you found. So yeah. Condition 23, you cannot occupy the development until you've connected the sewers, foul water capacity exits off-site, and you've upgraded to accommodate the additional flows. Which again, there are houses opposite the main gate. I imagine that they're connected to a sewer pipe that goes down the road. Maybe. I can't see them having their own, because it's terrace houses, not semi-detached or detached houses. It's like a very narrow row of terraces that look a bit weird because they're all grey, like I said. So you'd imagine that they either have a shared septic tank or they are connected to a sewer pipe. So I don't know which one it is. Hopefully, you know, it's to a sewer pipe, because that would probably be easier. Just connect to that, and maybe if it needs to get bigger, you make it bigger. Condition 24. Again, you can't occupy the development until you've verified the surface water drainage system. And again, that's to stop the flooding and stuff like that. Condition 25. When infiltration is to be used to manage surface water from development, it will only be allowed within those parts of the site where information is submitted to demonstrate to the local planning for its satisfaction that there is no resultant unacceptable risk to controlled waters or ground stability. Again, they don't want you polluting the water. This is a very big thing. This is like 3 or 4 conditions that are just about water. It's very important. Condition 26. Prior to first occupation, details of the rubbish storage and collection details have to be submitted. Condition 27 is specifically about a specific edge row that needs to be retained, and you can't remove it. But it's weird, because obviously that is, it says here it's included in condition 10, but then it's separately got its own condition. I think to undermine, I think maybe someone in the public complained. This might be the one that's opposite the houses, so it might be they brought it up and then it's been added as its own specific condition so that they can see that it's there. Look, listen, this it is here, it's right here, even though it is part of condition 10 as well. And you know, we're on the last 2. If you're still here, God bless you. We're at the end now. I mean, can you imagine if, like, I'm just skimming through this? People have to. This is their job to read this and then probably double check it again. I mean, god damn. So, condition 28. Notwithstanding the permission of town and country planning, etc., etc., you can only use it as what you said you were going to use it for, which is a football training ground and academy, and for no other purpose. So you can't turn it into an HMO, a place to, you know, army barracks, or, you know, migrant hotel. No. You can't turn it into a camping site and pitch tents on the football ground. And last but not least, condition 29. Prior to works above damp-proof course level, details of all renewable energy generation proposed, including size, position, numbers and specifications, shall be submitted to the local planning authority for approval in writing. Are they going to have solar panels? I think that's about solar panels. So I don't know. I think they might have a few on the main building. So that's probably about that. Or they might have some powering the lights and stuff like that. I don't know. But there you go. So as you can see, there are 29 conditions. Only 13 of them have to be granted before you can start building. And we are pretty much... What are we waiting for? We're waiting for 5, 4. We're waiting for 4, 11, 9, and there's one. And that was it. So 3. We're waiting for 3. So we're nearly there. We are nearly there, and they can start building. And then they can start. Once they do that, they can work on the other conditions. So there you go. And on that note, thank you for watching, and goodbye.